Keith Karamagi, Team Leader Rainbow Africa, a rural queer feminist youth-led organization in Fort Portal. As we delve in the context of digital threats, I'm going to first explain what is a digital or cyber threat. A cyber threat refers to any potential or actual malicious attack or hazard that could compromise the security, integrity, or confidential of digital information, systems, or network. And there are several examples of cyber or digital threats that affect us as rural LBQ community members. First, there is phishing and social engineering. This is where scammers may target rural LGBTQ individuals with fake emails, messages, or profiles aiming to steal personal information or spread malware. These are viruses, obviously. There is also online harassment and hate speech. Rural LGBTQ individuals may face online bullying, hate speeches, or discriminatory content, which can be particularly damaging in isolated areas. Identity theft and doxing. Digital attackers may steal personal information, including identities, addresses, or financial data, and use it to harm or expose rural LGBTQ individuals. Ransomware and malware attacks. Rural LGBTQ individuals may be vulnerable to ransomware or malware attacks, which can compromise their devices, data, and online safety. So some of the challenges that we do affect as rural LGBTQ individuals or organizations, there is limited access to afford and reliable internet connectivity, lack of digital literacy training and online safety resources, insufficient protection against online harassment and hate speech, limited access to LGBTQ-friendly online resources and support services. As LGBTQ individuals or organizations, through these attacks or the challenges that we've talked about, we've faced several challenges like involuntary disclosure within the communities or our families, whereby through doxing, someone is obviously going to blackmail you using the information that they've stolen from you. And furthermore, if you fail to pay the ransoms that are always imposed on you or targeted on us as victims, we get disclosed within our communities. And as you know, the current situation of the AHA, we are prone to arrests. There is also a challenge of mob justice, closure of our offices. People have attacked us, for instance, a situation that happened to our organization, whereby we got evicted from our offices. Our office equipment was confiscated with claims that we are promoting what was called indecency within the community. Yet we are not promoting, but we are supporting our fellow community members. Then there is loss of data and information, because the moment this information or data lands in the hands of the perpetrators, we are prone or being disadvantaged in a way that we are not able to extend our services to our community beneficiaries. There is also, when it comes to loss of data, it affects our mode of reporting, our information that we would be delivering to our donors or the reports to the donors and stakeholders. At the end of that day, you find out that we've already lost this data and information, which affects us as individuals and again as organizations. There is also a tail that our information, when it is leaked or stolen, it obviously leaks the database of our community members. And due to the current situation of the government systems that impose or create policies that are not favorable due to the inequalities that we do face as a country, all our members will get exposed, and at the end of the day, they're prone to attacks and all the violences that come as an impact of these digital threats. The impact of digital threats are so much severe when it comes to rural communities, most especially the LBQ communities. Being that, as people in the rural areas, we have limited access to these online security trainings, resources that could help us to secure ourselves both on internet and back within our communities. Why are we so much severe to this situation? Due to lack of funding and resources, and like we're in the urban centers, these people are so much exposed to different areas or platforms whereby they can access the information that they need, the information that is important to their online protection and safeguard. Due to the overpopulation, let me say, but it is not the right term, but you might find you walk this, like each and every after a kilometer, you might find there in several internet cafes. And remember, these internet cafes are sources of what? Of information, both in negative and positive ways. But let us look at the positive impact, whereby even if someone can't afford or access a smartphone or a computer, they will be able to do what? To go into those cafes and access the information that they need. Unlike us in rural areas, you might find even in our trading center, we don't have an internet cafe, whereby you have to take a boda or a motorcycle from where you stay to the urban center or to the semi-urban centers to do what? To access an internet cafe, maybe to submit a proposal or to look out for opportunities that you think are going to benefit you as an LBQ person or as an organization. So the topography has really affected us. And there is also a situation whereby in the urban centers, there are so many organizations that are offering the services to the LBQ persons or any other minorities communities. And like us, like for instance, if I'm talking about Toro region, LBQ organizations, we are like only 3. There are 3 organizations. We are serving a community of a bigger number that we can just estimate, because these people will always fear to come out due to the environment and the policies that are being employed within our communities. But with a few numbers of community beneficiaries, the organizations that can reach them are limited. And at the current situation, as we know, most organizations are offering services that are health-related and legal. But when it comes to the legal context, there are very few organizations that are doing what? That are offering digital security capacity and enhancement. Luckily for us at Rainbow Africa Initiative, we've had projects that are dealing with digital capacity enhancement, but others that are not offering those services. And due to the big number of these closeted minorities beneficiaries, we may not be able to reach the whole region as per se. So those are some of the particular challenges that rural LBQ community organizations are facing compared when it comes to the urban centers or urban settings. When I'm talking about digital rights, I'm going to talk about things like access to digital literacy and information, my right to access internet. As you know, there is a human right which talks about a right to privacy. I have to, when it comes to digital, how protected or how private is my information that I'm trying to put on these digital platforms? Isn't it being accessed by the government or any other perpetrators? Then there is also a right to expression, regardless of the policies that the government or the local authorities that are imposing. Aren't my rights being infringed and a right of expression? Because remember, as an organization or as a team leader, the activities that we do feel like we cannot conduct here in person, but at least when it comes to digital platforms, we are able to do what? To implement these projects. So how are we going to implement them? We are going to use the right to expression, because as digital communities, we have to express ourselves through our online spaces. Then there is a right to protection, regardless of what the environment is always triggering towards us as LGBTQ persons. Are there particular areas or environments that we find that as individuals, we have to express ourselves and also get protected? I think those are some of the basic rights that we always play around when it comes to digital occurrence as a rural LGBTQ person. So, after knowing our rights, how are we getting infringed? And what are the particular or basic things that we find out that are affecting us as when it comes to exploitation or exploring these internet rights? I talked about a situation of hate speech and online harassment, cyber stalking and doxing, identity theft and financial exploitation. There is also online outing and reputational damage. These are the challenges that are related to digital threats. So other challenges, we also face the challenge of limited access to digital literacy training and online safety resources. What are the security measures that I think as an LGBTQ person that should be put in place to protect our communities and our other societies when it comes to online existence? One, I'm going to recommend use of strong, unique passwords. This, I'm going to encourage my fellow LGBTQ individuals to use complex passwords, enable two-factor authentications, and avoid using of public computers or public Wi-Fi for sensitive activities. Or let's say in a situation whereby you don't have these resources, but you find yourself that you have to access the public resources. After using them, make sure that you delete your history, clear the caches and cookies. Then there is also to keep software and devices up to date. Regularly, as an LGBTQ person, update operating systems, browsers, and security software to protect yourself against unknown vulnerabilities and malware. Also, be cautious with online interactions. Please, for my fellow LGBTQ rural persons, let us know the risk of online harassment, phishing, and social engineering. Please be encouraged to be cautious with interacting with strangers and on these online spaces. There is also a measure of using VPNs and encryption. I recommend my fellow community members to use VPNs and encryption tools. At least let us use coded messages, or let's say words that we could use as synonyms. Like, for instance, instead of using a LBQ person, let us use Kuchu, something like that, coded words that the communities won't do what, won't be knowing. Encryption tools to protect online communications and data, especially when it comes to using public Wi-Fis. There is also a protection of monitoring online presence and report incidents. Please be sensitive when it comes to your online presence. In case you suspect anything that you're not familiar with, contact your fellow peers, contact community leaders. If need be, get exposed to the friendly service providers, like the legal entities, partners, engage them. You tell them that, you know what, I'm suspecting something fishy within this conversation or within the email that have been sent. Because like they know us as rural members that being in these settings, we are a bit poor, let me use that word. So we are always targeted that even the little that we have, scammers will always come for it. They will start sharing us emails that, you know what, I received the package for you. It has laptops, it has phones, it has a parcel that what you need to do, you need to send money on this account such that you do what? You do get your information or your package. At the end of the day, due to the lack of resources, and we end up even using our little that we have due to the scammers' interest, we are going to send it to them because knowing as an organization, we are only having one laptop. And this email, they're stating that there are three laptops for us. We end up doing what? Oh, this is an opportunity. We are going to use on the project money to do what? To get this package that this stranger has promised us. And at the end of the day, we get scammed. So we have to be so vigilant and cautious when it comes to our online presence. Then there is also availing access to digital literacy training. We have to be provided with access to digital literacy training and resources tailored to the needs of us rural LGBTQ persons to help us develop essential online safety kits. Like, for instance, Q Media, I know you might be having several activities or projects that are targeted to benefit us as rural LGBTQ persons. So those projects or programs that you're planning that are within your strategic plans, they should be availing us with information or resources that are prior or important, like for us to use within our day-to-day lives and as partners CSOs. Like to include in systems of peer-to-peer, there is train of trainees, come and train our peers here at Rainbow Africa Initiative such that they could also share the knowledge that they've obtained from these projects to their other community members. This will also lead us to a measure of community support and resources. As organizations, we have to foster a supportive community and provide resources such as counseling services, support groups, online forums to help rural LGBTQ individuals cope with emotional impact of cyber threats. Emotional impact. You people, I'm going to tell you, we are being emotionally drained and affected as LGBTQ persons. For instance, if a situation or an incident happens at, let's say, Rainbow Africa, me as an LGBTQ person, it is going to trigger me and cause mental health to me in a situation that I'm not going to be able to offer my services effectively as required from me. And again, if I'm not able to do that, the beneficiaries or the indirect beneficiaries around me, they will also be affected. because they won't be able to elastically help them and engage with them. Or they will also, if they are also affected, they won't be able to engage with me, whereby this situation is going to affect us both.
You sum up, the meeting is ending soon.
Yes, I'm summing up. It is going to affect us as both CSOs and as individuals. So, my final outcry that I'm sending out to communities and donors, please let us focus on the emotional impact of these cyber threats and digital insecurities. That let us get spaces, the online forums, retreats, refresher trainings for our community members. These problems, all the problems that I've talked about, the end result is emotional impact and emotional damage and drainage. So I'm calling upon CSOs, partners, donors, let us engage on these platforms, help to engage and control the damages that are being caused by the digital threats and insecurities. I think that's all I can say.